Well, well, that was fun.
I know you guys tune in early every week for that opening music, but we seem to have misplaced the opening music.
and
So
and the
Donovan's
and the
going to sing
pictures and animations, and it's all gone. It's all gone. I was panicking, so we just
straight to
decided to go to
us.
live. Yep, straight to us.
It's that or a blue screen for 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll start early and just say hi.
Hey, everybody,
Hi guys.
on all the various platforms out there. Welcome. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know.
Yeah, say hi. And I just got to call out Lawrence's just keyed in on on target dad jokes. Somebody put up where they were from, and it was not a straightforward pronunciation. So Donovan asked, "How do you spell that phonetically?" And Lawrence came back with th-a-t. The at nailed it, 100%. Thank you. All right, so if you're watching this video recorded and you're already like every once in a while we
Confused?
get comments on YouTube, it's like, oh, just start modeling already. And apparently, no, that's not what we're doing right now. We're gonna though. Yeah, I just had to call it out. Oh, there,
Yeah.
like church.
Speaking of call outs, we have people joining us from, I think, France, some French speaking country. There's a lot of French going on in the chat right now. We have people from, I'm going to pronounce it horribly, so I'm just going to say Poland,
There we go.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We dad jokes. Devon, UK. Oh, Kluk. CH like church. So Chuchbork, Poland. Laugh at me. You can. I understand. From Massachusetts, from Kongsberg, Norway. I'm tuning in from Utah. We also got people from Vancouver, Washington. Aaron is joining us from Colorado. So all over, just all over.
Yeah, which is awesome. So my favorite things about this is that we get to connect with people like literally all the way around the world. So it's a pretty awesome way to spend time with a couple hundred of you guys and hang out. So sometimes we get on here and we get into some hardcore workflows. We do buildings, framing, some serious design stuff. Sometimes we come in here and we have some fun models. And today is definitely a fun model.
Your implication being that all of those other models aren't fun. Architecture is it's just not
let me
fun.
say a just for fun model. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, no,
this
it's
is
good.
But which is still modeling that I highly recommend doing. So if you do use SketchUp for a design workflow, AEC related modeling practice, that's awesome. But I do recommend just hopping out and modeling for fun every once in a while, something that you're interested in. It's just a great way to push forward your expertise, and you get to think outside of the box that we all put ourselves in when we're in production modeling positions. So this is one of those. Yeah, so last week, I mean, it was fun. Last week we had a good time. We took a patio and built out a bar and a barbecue spot and some stuff from 3D Warehouse. This time we're going to model from scratch, and we're going to model the head of the robot Herbie from the new Fantastic Four movie that just came out. So
before we do that, I do have a request for everybody. The last couple weeks we have had comments about our audio being a little glitchy, off. How are we right now? Can you let us know? Like, how's my audio? How's Aaron's audio? We tried to play around with settings and things before we jumped on this and embarrassed ourselves with blank screen because everything else was left. But
well,
if you will
it
let
would
us
make
know,
sense. It would make a lot of sense if audio's fixed, something else is broken. So that's
it's got to be something.
The balance is still there. Yeah, it's tough. And it's hard sometimes to nail these things down because we believe that the crackling was only happening on the YouTube stream and not on the others. but we don't hear any crackling between us at all. So sometimes it's hard to nail these things down. We go through so many different gates to do this. So if it happens, if it does start, a crackling noise starts showing up, then let us know. And I don't know that we can fix it right now, but we can know that we should spend more time looking into it.
So we have feedback across all our channels, YouTube, LinkedIn, all over the place, and they say it's 5 out of 5. We're good. So I guess we're good to go. Are we good to go?
Maybe we should quit now while we're ahead.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks for joining, everybody. This has been an Audio Perfect podcast live stream. I'm so used to saying podcast. I'm sorry.
It's not a podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
I just noticed, Donovan, that my secondary monitor is to my left. So when I look over there to see you, it looks like I'm actually looking at you.
Yeah. How's it going? Wait a minute. Am I? Yes,
yeah,
that way.
Going the right way. So you need to get your secondary monitor over there.
Hi.
So when we talk to each other.
I know. Just move it to the. Yeah.
It won't make sense as soon as we go to the next scene and we're on top of each other.
I know.
But
speaking of next scene.
Let's do it.
Make sure I, turn everything on so everybody can see.
There we go.
This question always comes up at the top of every modeling session. The mouse that Aaron is using, where we get all of our fancy camera work inside of SketchUp, is a 3D Connections Space Mouse. So if you haven't seen them or tried them or used them, go check them out because it's highly recommended with SketchUp. It makes modeling so much fun unless you're just starting to use them like I am, and it makes modeling very frustrating. But apparently, once you get used to them, they're great. They're great. So
there is an investment in time for sure.
So to get that out of the way, to answer that question ahead of time, it's a 3D Connections Space Mouse. There you go.
All right, boy, we're talkative out here today. This is pretty nice.
I know. It's so
Can you
great.
explain renderings? Rendering is when the computer simulates light to put it onto 3D modeled surfaces to make it look more lifelike. That would be my explanation of rendering.
Which we are probably going to do today, right? Because Herbie is metal. We may or may not add some photoreal materials.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. All right. So I'm going to bring in a couple of images that I got. The first one is an image I took at the movie theater when I saw this movie last night.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you guys have seen Fantastic Four already, because I know it's been out since yesterday, what'd you think?
Yeah, bring it.
Let us know in the comments because we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. We're going to try to be spoiler free. We're going to try not to spoil it for anybody because it literally is like the opening weekend. So I hate that. I hate when in fact, that's why I go see movies that I'm interested in so early, is because I try to get ahead of the spoilers.
Out of morbid curiosity, does having a movie spoiled change the experience for you, like in a dramatic enough way that it would have been a better experience watching the movie had a particular thing not been spoiled?
Yes, somewhat.
Really?
In that,
can you give an example?
If the spoiler is like, oh, when this happened, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know that character was even in it. I didn't know. Then when I hear that kind of stuff, I end up finding myself waiting for that to happen. So like, I missed what was going on now because I was thinking about how this character could play into the next scene or that kind of thing. So that's why I overthink that sort of stuff. If somebody comes in, it's like, oh, I don't like it because it's stupid. That's fine. I don't care about people's opinions or whatever. But when they tell me something that's happening that I'm not supposed to know, that sometimes.
Well, I think it's funny with especially comic book movies because I know and I understand the fact that people are not as geeky as me, so they probably have not read the comic books or don't understand the implications of a lot of Easter eggs that they tend to put in comic book movies.
True.
Oh man, Proton Man lost his foot in that one battle, but nobody knows who Proton Man is, so they don't care.
Yeah, that's what you got to get yourself a good movie buddy who's as geeky as you are, and then you can go after that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000. Whenever I go out with geeky friends and watch movies, it's a grand old time.
All right. So, yeah, we looked at a couple things on here. I was originally thinking about the rocket, but the rocket's actually pretty simple. It's some swooping shapes, but it wouldn't take hours to model. Uh, Donovan mentioned their car, and that would be much more than 2 hours. Again, lots of swooping shapes. The whole movie, in case you haven't seen the trailer, is set in this kind of retro futuristic where they got this heavy 50s vibe, but at the same time, super sci fi stuff going on. Really cool, but there's not many straight surfaces.
Yeah.
Everything is rounded and curved. And I mean, Kirby's a good example of this. We have, his face is flat, but the rest of his head kind of all just rounds all the corners and stuff like that. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a fun little model. So we're gonna hop in and we're just gonna get started with this. So I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole because we could get into like how he actually works, stuff they talk about in the movie. But what I really want to do is there's three main pieces I want to model. So this faceplate is on the outside of his head. This tape looking thing that's like reel to reel inside is actually a separate piece that sits inside. And then the case of his head is another piece. So if we have time, we'll do this little kind of accordion joint down here for his neck. But those are the three main pieces I want to kind of build out. So I figured I'd start with this faceplate and I'll kind of set the scale and size. And then we'll work our way backwards to this reel-to-reel setup. I'm glad I got this picture because it's a very good picture of what happened. So right here, this reel feeds under this piece, up over this, under this, to this, like that. And you can kind of see the tape right there. So I thought that'll be a fun thing to model, is those pieces as those all go together. Going to be some cool stuff. I don't have a whole lot of plans for a lot of extensions. I think most of this is going to be native, but we do have a couple curves that I might lean into. Is the top of his head in particular. It kind of comes flat on these two corners and then bubbles up. And this is the danger of becoming a SketchUp modeler. Is I was watching the movie thinking, that's soap, skin, and bubble right there. That's just an extrusion. That's just a push pull. And I literally was doing that during the model or during the movie in my head. So
which we know that there are many people within the Hollywood complex that use SketchUp. And so it makes me wonder, it does make me wonder, like, did somebody use SketchUp to create, because it's like an actual, it's a puppet, right?
Yeah, he's all practical.
Yeah.
Super, super cool for me.
It does make me wonder if someone just so happened to have made Herbie in SketchUp and we're just, reversing the process that they created before they made the movie. Who knows?
It could be, hey, if this hits anybody in the production crew downstream, let us know. That'd be awesome.
Kagi said Aaron never used to use materials, but now he uses PBR materials all the time because they're so good. But would he have started using materials more without PBR ones?
Well, let me put it this way. Y'all have been harassing me to use more materials for years, and I just started using them with 25. So yeah, I think it is. I think it's the reflectivity. I think as soon as that reflectivity came in, I really started getting more into using that way. So yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to start with, and I don't have a good flat shape. I don't have any technical drawings of this or anything like that. So I might be a little off on some of my sizes I do here, but I want to kind of come in and use this head right here as just sort of a, whoa, look at that. Boom. He is totally facing the camera perfectly. That's crazy. All right. Find the middle of that, draw that down. Wow, that's pretty close to perfect too. A little weirded out. Don't know what to do with something that I had a lot of thoughts of what I was going to share about how when stuff's not facing the camera right, but
and this is a picture you took, right? So you're just complimenting yourself and your own work.
Oh,
I did amazing taking this picture.
I wasn't even thinking of it that way, but you're right. Kudos to the cameraman for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there is about what his face looks like. That's the shape we'll go off of. If we look in here, so this cover has multiple levels. Looks like I got it up here, drops down to a lip that sticks up, that kind of curves in, that comes down here, that steps down, steps down. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. So I'm just gonna kind of just draw a couple reference lines on here just for myself. Right, like that. And then up here, that goes up like that. I think that's the end of it. So we'll do this, it's that top lip. And then all of this is going to offset in something like that. I'm going to have some rounded corners on here. I can see that, so this corner down here doesn't look like it's rounded at all. This one has a small arc, and then this one has a much bigger arc. So I'm just going to do one like this, and I'll double that, click over here, and then I'm going to do a different arc, a smaller arc here, and then double click over here. All right, then we got that basic look now. So I'm going to pull this first one out that far. This one's going to come out that far, and then again, this one's going to come out this far. And then if I want to go the same, I want the same offset as here. What I can do is I can select this face, then hit push pull, and then say come out from here to here. So I can use that offset as a reference right there, like that. Ooh, we're getting closer. Right? Oh, look at that ambient occlusion.
Oh,
I had to say it.
shading.
I had to say it sooner or later, but look at that. That's so good.
Man, I feel like we're already halfway done and we're just getting started.
Yeah, I might just really nail this faceplate and call it done, man. All right, so this little lip that sticks up here, it is rounded off. So the outside corners are rounded here and here also. Not quite as much, so I'm just gonna come in here, double click like that, and then I'll do the same thing. Oh no. I'm never sure why sometimes I will be able to do the double click and sometimes not. Maybe it's the it's because it's not flat. That's why. So if I do a offset like that on a flat piece, then it lets me double click on the next one and get the same offset. All right, one more arc right here. What I was doing up there is I just found the end of that and I came straight across, inference it right across. That way if I click there, go up there and get magenta, it's the same exact arc. Go away. All right. I think I saw, I don't know if Ty's on. Ty asked me if we could do a model this ahead of time a little bit and then 3D print it beforehand, so we'd have a cool 3D print thing to show. I thought that was a cool idea, but I didn't. This is the first time I've thought about how to model this, so
that would be cool.
I
see Colin on. I haven't seen Ty chime in yet, so maybe.
Yeah.
Ty, if you're here, say hi.
I apologize to Ty for not getting back to him on that earlier, but as is indicative of my week, the reason that I couldn't do it is because I didn't have that time. All right, so I'm just running these long like this, and then I just have to chop this off at that angle of that. Whoops! I want to cut this off at the angle here. And this is just it's a straight angle like that. It's not a curve or anything. So really all I should have to do is connect this point to this point. That'll give me a face right there. If I select that and say intersect face with model, that'll break the curve right there. So then all I have to do is select this and delete it. And there we go. We got a nice smooth.
You make it look so easy.
It's my goal. Try to find the easiest way to do stuff. Sometimes on those days that stuff doesn't go smoothly, that's me learning myself of how there's a better way than what I'm doing.
Transom chimed in and said, "We're making the interior millwork for a local restaurant and a bar in the shop. Mike planned the whole project in SketchUp. I'm doing a lot of sanding.
Ooh, sorry to hear that.
He also said
Sanding's
we've
not
been
bad. It's just not
making
fun.
church fixtures too. Got a new CNC machine with a 5 foot by 10 foot bed. Oh my gosh, that is ginormous.
That is a lot. All right, I got a thing I'm not happy about. My offset. This is too thick. This bezel's too thick. It should be much thinner. So I'm going to run around the outside like this. Just pick each of these pieces that go around the edge. I'm just gonna do a quick offset. You too. Offset that. Bring it down. That actually might be enough. Let's see. Back. That's much closer. So it looks like these down here are supposed to be about the same size. So I was definitely shorted myself here a little bit. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll do something like this. Run this down just a little bit further like this. I promise I'm not going for perfection here. I'm just looking at my initial setup and not loving what I'm saying. Oh, I gotta undo that too.
Oh.
Undo. All right, so I'm gonna take all of these guys. What is that? I'm gonna make it a group. I'm gonna right click and lock it. That way I can't do that. I can't accidentally erase and get rid of it. Little time saver. I just erased that instead. All right.
Looks like you didn't lock that part of the model in.
Nope. All right, so get rid of that, get rid of these. Then what I really want is just this length right here. So what I can do is I can take this, put that here, put one here, and that way I can just run a line across like that, run a line across like that, and then those are my steps down below. And then for pulling this back up, this right here, if I take this and divide that into 3, then I know this one comes up to the second one, and then this one will come up to that first one, and now that's evenly divided into the same size step. So that looks much closer to what we had there. Cool.
Randy says no disassemble.
Hey, Johnny 5 would be a fun one to model too.
Oh, wait, you've never done that one before? That would seem
Not
like
as of yet.
that low hanging fruit for a SketchUp modeler to go in and do Johnny 5.
That would be a fun one for sure.
Well, I guess we know what to add to our recommendation list. Speaking of recommendation lists, if you guys have any ideas for stuff that we can model here on SketchUp Live on Fridays, let us know in the forums.sketchup.com, because we're usually not at a loss for ideas. But if there is something specific that you guys want to see, then
Absolutely.
We're accommodating.
All right. I'm gonna start getting some materials on here. That's right. We're doing it this early, guys. Glass. I just put a. So I grabbed this middle piece and made it its own piece, and then we'll take this piece out here and make it into its own group. And I want to get, so one thing that's happening right now is my background is kind of bluish. So my ambient light that's coming in is kind of turning this kind of blue right here. I think I'm going to try to go with a more bright white, or maybe even a slightly orangish. See, these guys got a little bit of a orange or yellow tint to it. So I'm going to real quickly just go to my environment.
Is there presets for 1970 sepia?
No, but this one looks pretty close. Got a little bit of warmth right here, but it's definitely more yellow. The other one was pretty blue. I don't really, at this point, I'm not concerned about the background because I'm not going to use that. I'm just moving my colors off on the other screen. I'm not going to use the background. So one of the things I can do is go to edit, and I can just say, turn off the sky dome. Now, all I'm really worried about is how that...
You still get the reflective
yeah,
reflectivity.
which is cool. because I still got the, see that? I still got the reflectivity on the glass, on that transparent part. So this looks pretty cool. I kind of like this. It gives me a little bit more warmth as opposed to that coolness. And I am intersecting. That looks pretty cool. So right now, this glass fits directly in here. I don't have to do this next part, but I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna scale it uniformly, just a teeny bit, just like that much. And then I'm gonna take this because it should be a solid, and this should be a solid. That's not a solid. Let's see why it's not a solid real quick. Tools. Nope, tools, wrong one. Solid inspector. Got a straight edge and a reverse face, so I'll fix both those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use tools, solid tools, trim. Trim says cut this out of another shape, but don't throw away the cutter. Subtract says take this out of this and then throw the cutter away along with the difference. By doing that, what I create then is what I should have created. Something didn't go right in there. Missing a piece or two. But yeah, is a piece of glass, and then I want that to fit into the lip of the plastic here. But for some reason it didn't do that, and I don't know why.
I was about to ask why, Aaron. Why didn't it do it? But you just answered my comment. You don't know either.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out why. Oh, maybe it did. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It did. It just colored it clear. That's all. All right. So now I can take my, put that back in there, click it right into place. And there we have Herbie's faceplate.
Wow.
So grab that, make that into its own group. All right. Now this piece that sits behind, this is the part I'm most excited about, is doing this little reel-to-reel model. It's going to sit right behind this glass faceplate. So I can grab this face, Control C, and I can paste that. And this will be the base that I'm going to build this all up onto. And then I'll just have that piece just fit right back behind here. Whether or not that's actually how it interacts in the real thing, I'm not really that worried. I know that that's how it will line up here. So
here's a question. If you copy and paste a component, does it turn that pasted object into a component, or does it make it unique?
No, if you copy a component and make a new copy of it, that new copy will be a new component, or a copy of the same component.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you go in and edit one, it will edit the other.
Yes. So this, all I grabbed here was just a surface. So I cut it out of there. So this is not part of a copy of any actual object, just a face. So I'm clear to mess this up as much as I want.
Okay, but the reason why I asked is well, if you put a different material on that, does it copy that material from your copy onto the original, or is the material unique?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nope. All right. So I'm going to do this background, and then I'm going to build everything up off of it. So I'm going to just give this a little bit of depth, just so I have something to, a thing rather than just a face. And then I'm going to grab that. I'm going to make it into a group. I want to group all this stuff together. And then we got a couple things. So there's like an edge coming around here. You can see that has like these bolts going in, or nuts or screws or something going into it. So we'll do that. And then we have this little lip right here with a couple steps. We'll do that as well. So let's start by, I'm going to start by grabbing this face again, Control C, and coming out here, pasting it, and I'm going to put just white on here for right now. And I'm going to do a couple things. So one is I'm going to put this section here, go right there, go parallel to that, and then parallel to that. There we go. Draw that up like that. And then I will, again, to get that in the same spot, I'm just going to inference straight across to here. Draw parallel to this. There we go. Run that up like that. Get rid of those extra lines. And then I'll take this now and offset this ever so slightly. It's just a little lip. And then I'll come in here and I will put a circle like that big. Actually, undo. I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to pay attention to what I put in. So let's say 1 inch. All right, there's a 1 inch circle. Perfect. Because then I want to put that same circle right here, right here. Sometimes it is okay to be messy and have geometry everywhere if you know you're going to come back and clean it up. So that is absolutely what I'm doing. I'm going to make a mess. So there. So there. Sorry, I didn't even get combative there. Like this. So that's what I want to get. I'm trying to create that plastic lip right there that goes all the way around. And then I'm just going to clean up those pieces that overlap. Whoops, too much deleting.
I think Randy gave us a suggestion on something to model. He says, how about some, I'm going to mispronounce it, Julius DeWall model trains? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I can't say yes or no because
I can look it up. Hold on.
I'll throw this out to the crowd. It's been a bit. I'm going to tell you guys. I have seen quite a few movies the last couple weeks. I did see Superman when that came out. This week I saw both Eddington and Fantastic Four, both of which I thought were just great movies in very, very different ways. But what you guys? Anybody seen any good movies recently that are worth checking out?
Okay, coming back to the comment before, the Julius DeWall model trains. If you Google it and look at images, I swear these were all done in SketchUp. The engineering.
Do they share the files? Can we just download them? And
I know it. They look like SketchUp models. They really do. Wow, interesting. Very, very shiny trains. A lot of gold, a lot of silver. Very shiny.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. So let's expound on your comment earlier, Aaron. You saw them both. You liked them both for different reasons. You want to expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, I thought they were both fun movies. I think an issue that's coming up. I don't want to get too high and mighty here, but let me tell you what's wrong with the comic book movie industry right now.
Help solve it for us, Aaron. Let's get it.
I get it. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I understand that. But man, it's just the fun's gone. You know, it's all just so serious, and I am loving that both of these movies were just very, very fun movies. So I really like that. I liked that this was a good time. I had enjoyed both movies very, very much. For different reasons, but they both were like, you know, I didn't have. It seems like the makers of these movies didn't worry about how grounded, how real is any of this stuff going to be. It's a comic book, you know. It's and they did that. They just went, let's just have a fun comic book movie, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Both of them. For very different movies, but both very, very fun for sure.
Bill says, well, the curves.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm owning it. I didn't do that. Yeah. They'll, oh, that's kind of cool. It says that Randy's saying we're back on the trains. They come with design documents. That's pretty cool. That could be fun. All right, so here's my thought real quick. As I was just kind of modeling and talking, I'm going to take all of this and make it clear because that's kind of what happens in here. You can see that this clear plastic's in here. Or not clear, and make it like this, which is like a 95% clear reflective surface. And then right here, they have like kind of some, I don't know, some material, a little bumpiness like right there. And then you can see it's see-through to a blue section behind it. These ones, you can't really get that detail. But you can see there, it's so So I want to do something like that. I want to get like ribs on here and then make it clear and then put something blue behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line right here and I'm going to go, here we'll go this way. We'll go from here, I'm going to go from about here, option, up to here. And I'm going to divide that 1, 2, 3, 4, divide by 5. Yes, that's what I want. Then I'm going to get rid of my hanging over edges, and then I'm going to pull up. Oh, something didn't quite hit. I think I got a little too fancy down here at the bottom. There we go. And then pull that up like that. Double click here. Grab all that. Because I think when I make that clear and put blue behind it, I'm going to get something similar to that. I want these same things over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this face, delete it, and then I'll just come through here and grab each of these faces. Grab them by the faces. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you going? Where are you going, Aaron? I'm trying to follow. I see it now.
Yeah, so we're going to take all of that, and I'm going to say mirror that, a copy of that, along the middle of this. Boom, that's over there. All right, now I'm going to take all of this, make that into a group, and color that with the same material. All right, so they're going to have nice, oh, we came close. We got some not see-throughness here. So what happened
interesting
is somewhere on the interior, I have a material that's not see-through. So it just colored the front face. So what I can do is I can grab all of these and then I can say what color do I want there. And I think I can just do this. No, I guess I can't. So what I might have to do instead is, I'm not sure, I'm playing with this right now. Oh, there. So if we look on the inside, you can see all these faces have that white. So what I'm going to do is I have the clear in my paint bucket. So I just can say I want to color this, the clear, but I'm also going to say all the connected faces. Let's see if that's not better.
That's not better? It looks better. No?
Still not seeing through. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Would the direction of the face have to do with that, or?
Oh, I just had some. There we go. They weren't connected. The geometry over here didn't connect to the geometry over there. I'm not.
Bill says trying to follow Aaron when he's on a roll is trying to like her cats.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to figure things out. So I'm gonna undo a whole bunch. I'm gonna go back till it's all the way white. All right. So every face, regardless of the SketchUp model, every face has a front and back material. So if I come in here right now and I grab this material and I say Command A to select all, and then I just put that material on it, all it's doing is putting it on the outside face. So you can see right here, I can't see through this section. I'll see if I can animate around to show you. The outside of the face is white, but the inside of that face is white, but the outside is that clear material. So what has to happen is I have to get both the front and the back of all those faces to be white. So with everything still selected, if I was to peek my head inside the material, scrolling in, and eventually my head will pop through that surface into the lower surface. And now, if I just put that on the inside, all the pieces will get that same clearness, and now it's all the way see-through.
Patrick says there's a few extra edges on the right-hand side that's not helping.
Could be what? Do you have extra faces? Oh, you mean over here? This? top two. Because I copied that over and didn't clean it up afterwards. I think I'm getting rid of geometry I need right now. All right, so one of the downsides to working with clear materials is that they're see-through.
Colin says, could you select all, reverse faces, paint, reverse faces, paint?
Let's undo. Let's just back it. Let's just back this train up again. We're learning, everybody. All right, so let me start by cleaning up.
One step forward, 2 steps back. Here we go.
So here's the problem. There we go. These didn't. I didn't grab the end pieces to close that up. Oh, this is a fun one. So let's see if I grab these and I just move that up to here. No, that's gonna make a mess. Yeah, I guess the easiest thing is just to do this and stitch it. You know I'm not opposed to stitching. Stitching's a good time. I don't know. Yeah, the way I did this, what I probably should have done is drawn a line here and here and just copy this whole wing from one side to the other. I didn't do that. So it's going to be a little bit of work to close this up properly like that. But then when I do that, I can get those on there. And that's probably something that caused a problem. But yeah, let me... all right, let's do exactly what Colin was saying. So looks good all the way around. Command A. Should probably save, right? You guys.
No. Okay, I have to point this out. There was a comment about 20 minutes ago that somebody was like, save. And then somebody else responded, it's like, don't kill the tension, or not don't kill the tension, but like...
You guys want a repeat of that horrible Notre Dame issue?
I'm trying to find the comment because it was so so great. What did he say?
I thought you were on my team, y'all, but
no, they were. They were looking out for you. The comebacks were just too good.
Yeah,
they were just too good.
All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna color it. I'm gonna go grab this, and I'm gonna say color all. And now I'm gonna, with everything still highlighted, I'm gonna say reverse faces. Boom, white outside. Color it.
Keggy said, don't spoil our fun. That's what he said.
Keggy. All right, so there we go. So we got that. I am going to grab this piece and this piece, the back faces, and I'm gonna hit Command C to copy it. I'm gonna come out. I'm going to say edit, paste in place. I'm going to grab that. I'm just going to slide it back here. And then I'm going to color it like a metallic blue is what I'm looking for. So I might go in here to my metals. There's not, I mean, he's really plasticky for the most part. I might grab my silver. Yeah, we'll start with silver. And I'll put silver on here. And then come back here to this silver, and we'll just go change that so it gets bluey.
My daughter's ears just perked up somewhere.
Bluey?
You said the B word.
Yeah. All right, and then pull that up like that. And we'll do the same offset here. Select all of it. And then we'll make that another group. So what I'm hoping for is we get a little bit of blue reflection behind that metal, so we get that multi-layer feeling going on there. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm going to take these two groups now, make that into a new group, and then we'll plop that, give me good midpoint there, and just put that right on that black background at the midpoint. Yeah.
Colin says you should have reversed it first. Now we're looking at the back faces, but it looks okay.
He's not wrong. Okay, there, we're back outside. I got you, Colin. I hear you. I hear you. I get it. Yeah. Cool. Just to see how this is going to look, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna again come in here, copy just this face, Command C. I'm gonna come back out, Command V, and then we'll line that up. And this will be the beginnings of what is the rest of his head. Make that into a group, and then I can grab all of these pieces, make that into a new group. Oh, so many groups. Don't be scared of groups, though. Groups are great. Groups are the things you want to organize your model with. All right, so if we look at that.
Bill says, doesn't Aaron have a shortcut for paste in place? He uses it a lot.
I used to.
Hmm.
You know, I remapped a bunch of buttons on my 3D mouse because I was noticing there were some commands I didn't use very often. So I put save and paint on there, and I think somehow, oh, measure. Why do I have measure? I use measure. That's supposed to be paste in place. Yeah, I did. I did used to have a shortcut for it. It was right here, but now it's not here. Okay, so this is looking cool. I'm just gonna save real quick, and we're gonna come in here and go to my styles, and I'm gonna try this real quick with no edges to see how that looks. Meh. It's almost a little too much. I'm gonna just try it with some gray edges. I think my glass is a little too dark. The reflectivity's so cool, and I love the layers. You can see the layers in there, but I do think it's just a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna edit that real quick.
Is it just an opacity issue?
It is 100% opaque, but it's very, very dark. You can see it's all the way to black. So if I lighten it up like that a little bit, wait.
Is that luminance? Is that what it's called?
No, that's my background. That's the wrong thing.
Oh.
Where's that material? Is that this? No, that's my blue. I know what that is. Oh, is it my default material? It is. Okay. So let me take that material.
Bill says it looks like the wide screen of an American police cruiser.
There you go. So my opacity, if I set that down to 0, shows up like that. I bring it up just a little bit. That's a little too much reflection. 0 roughness, 100 metalness means it's totally reflective. So I could actually bring that down a little bit to let a little more light through. And yeah, this is just going to be a balancing act of getting the right amount of see-throughness to the right amount of reflectivity.
Ooh, Ty chimed in saying, love that reflection. Ty is here to answer your question from earlier.
Hey, Ty. Yes. Whoops. And then I screwed it all up. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so let's get the most important part. His facial features, which are not actually face things, but these. So we're gonna have a couple of circles. We're actually just 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, and then we'll do it twice. So I'm just gonna come in here. I'm just gonna start drawing on top, but I'm gonna do this. This is what I was saying. Dealing with, there's a couple of colors that are hard to draw with. One is clear, one is black, but you can always come in here and you can always go to View, Face Style, and turn it to monochrome. This just shows front faces and back faces, and that's it. So if you are dealing with see-through materials or very dark materials, you can come in here and draw on this and then apply materials afterwards. So that helps a lot. So I'm going to come in here, create a circle, go almost to the edge like that. pretty good to
Patrick
start
says,
with.
add some geometry on the inside so you can see through the glass and will help setting the opacity. He didn't ask a question. I made it into a question. He said, add some geometry inside so that you can see through the glass. It will help setting the opacity. Oh, I
Think
see what he's saying.
that's too big. All right, so I'm just going to throw a couple of circles on here that are about the size I think they need to be, and then I'll move them around. That looks about right. Okay, I think that's going to work.
Patrick says, looks like the facial features are made up of reel-to-reel magnetic tape recorders. Did they talk about that in the movie?
Yes. Huh. It is. It's exactly what it is. It's basically a retro future cassette tape. You could think of it with data instead of music.
It's amazing what the 1950s thought the 2000s was going to be like.
Because these are so big and so prominent, I think this one in particular, I'm going to take up to like 48 sides. These guys are probably okay. They're smaller, but that one seemed like I needed to do that. All right, I'm going to grab these four. I should just be able to do this. There we go. I'm going to group that. Actually, I'm going to make that a component. And then I am going to reflect a copy of that about the middle and see how that works. Okay, so that's not quite right because these two should be closer together. I think these reels need to be a little bit bigger even. So I'm going to come in here, start by taking this, slide it over. So they're closer together. Actually, it's like these two both move over just a, whoa. I'm sure that was. And then they also kind of come down a little bit. And then this just needs to get a little bit bigger. Not a lot, but all right, there we go. Looks closer. It's closer, it's getting there. All right, so last I'm just gonna move this over just a bit and then grab this one, bring it down just a touch. All right, that was closer. All right, cool. So now each one of these I'm going to make into its own group. I could make these into components too, but it's kind of redundant since it's in a component and everything that's in the component is going to get created anyhow. So I'm
curious. Have you ever lost count of groups and components within groups and components with groups in models?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
It's always possible. It's always time. So I'm going to option copy, make the outside one side of the reel, and then the other one's going to come out here, and that'll be flush with the front. Perfect. I'm making this more difficult on myself than I need to, so I'm trying to figure out how to back up a step right now. What I want to do, actually here's what I'm going to do. I grab this, make it a group, and I'm going to hide it. And then on this group, I'm going to offset that much. And then I will color this black. Oh, I'm modeling without colors right now.
Yeah, because everything is monochrome, right?
Right. But it is black now. So got that going for me. I'm going to run that all the way. I'm going to view hidden objects. And that way I can pull this just to the back. Like, a good snap point. Like that. Nope, that goes through. Okay, so I'm going to pull that out to the back here. There we go. And then in this front disc, I'm just going to cut a window and cut a hole. Yes. Okay.
Randy says, I've ended up with too many levels of groups and components and then spend forever double clicking and trying to move in and out of them.
Yes. Yes. I do. I hear that. I definitely know what that's like. All right. I'm gonna go and put some materials on here right now. I'm trying to be better about materials. I like when I get done with a model and it does have some cool looking materials on it. Yeah, that's it. I did it. Done. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna edit.
Aside from all that Z fighting, it looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's coming. That's coming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna unhide my disk on top, and then with this one, I'm gonna go offset. Oops, come in here, offset. Am I still on the outside? Yes, I am. Offset. Jeez, let me say it over and over again. So he's just got this like little white rim. Oh, that looks like it's silver in that one.
So
Also, we got metal, silver.
the picture
we got
you took, is it
Mhm.
of an actual like
No, it's a
real
picture of a
life
picture.
model? It's a picture of a picture. Okay. Because I was wondering when you saw this, were you like walking around it trying to like seeing all the angles, get all the little details for, you know,
Okay,
modeling later? But no, it's
I'm
a
gonna I'm gonna,
picture.
I'm gonna admit something that I did. It's like the cardboard standee, like a 3D box basically. It's a big picture frame, and then the Fantastic Four standing in there. Herbie's down in the lower corner. I went in. I'm like, I'm gonna get a good picture. This got up close to my phone, and I clicked like that, and then I went like this to try to get the side. you 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 can't roll around a 2D image, so
That is
yeah,
fantastic.
I did do that.
So what you're saying is you're normal, or what I'm saying
I
is thank heavens I'm normal.
yeah, absolutely. It was and I just started laughing at myself. It was a good time. It was a good
Yeah.
time. All right, so there's the three rings. Um, I think rather than going through and messing with some of this is see through, some of it's not. I'm probably just gonna actually I need to go one more because I missed a ring. This ring right here. I think I'm just gonna put materials directly onto the rings. So I'll keep white here, black, silver, white, silver, and then this ring should, I believe, just push through to the back and be, yeah, see-through.
Keggy says, Aaron, that's an age thing. You're getting older, my friend.
It's true. It's true. Happily, I'm growing smarter, intelligent, stuff like that. So I keep telling myself it's okay for that reason. The black goes here. All right. Cool. And then, oh, I got to put this little box on here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go rectangle about the middle. I come straight down like this, and I'm going to maybe drag this edge.
Patrick's trying to give support and he says, we've all done it.
I guess I'm just too quick to admit that I do things like that, really, is the main problem. All right, there we go. All right, I think that one, I realize this eye is different, so I'll come back and I'll do that later, but let me get the rest of this, and then I want to get that reel-to-reel tape on there. That'll be fun. So speaking of which, I want to make sure I have a groove to pass the tape over, so I'm just going to make those grooves kind of all the same. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to pull this up to this height, and then same thing here and same thing here. And then I'm going to offset. So just like that, yes. These ones look like they, oh no, that's hard to tell. It kind of looks like they have, these ones go in further. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna offset this the same amount, and then this one I'm gonna take way in like that. And then I'm gonna pull this up to the bottom of this piece. Same with this, same with this. And then I will offset this back out to this piece. Same with the, offset.
Transom says, I keep trying to pinch and zoom on magazines and newspapers.
Oh, it's so true. It is so true.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, my iPad has ruined me for like interacting with real media.
There's so many like fingerprints in my house on like the TV when my kids go up and they're trying to like touch it to select something. It's like, why won't it do it? That's like because it's not a touch screen. It's not a touch screen.
You can keep trying though. All right, here's what I think I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna scale it down just a little bit, and then I'm gonna move it back. Move it in like this. Yes. Do the same thing here. And then move it in like that. There we go. Get it like kind of indent. And then I can put all of this. We'll get this silver. Except I'll put black here and here. Oh, he's coming together.
Looks good. I mean, he looked good 5 minutes into this, and we're already over an hour, so it's looking
Take
good.
it. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to take this tape and wrap it up like that over this, back down here, and connect in the middle. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to chop Herbie's face in half. Temporarily, I'm going to grab a section plane, throw it on the face like this, and then I will cut it back in here until I'm, there we go, in like that. So I'm in the reels now. And now I'm just going to go grab a line, pull that down like that.
Was that a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's right. I'm drawing segments. I'm drawing around this segment like this. And then at some point, I'm going to come up. Yep. To here. And then I'm going to go, again, I'm just going to click around this circle's edges. I could probably cut some of this material out and like dissect these arcs and pull them where I need them, but I don't. I think it's just quicker for me right at this point just to do this because it's not really that complicated of geometry. Let's go to there. Whoops. Sometimes I start talking and clicking becomes a secondary action and I forget. All right, so I'm going to take that over here. I'm going to figure out where the midpoint between these two pieces is like this. And that's where I'm going to end that piece. All right, now I'm going to triple click to get all of that line.
Kegi says, I have a voice control for some of the functions in my car, but the other weekend I had a loaner car while mine was in the garage, and I spent about a good 10 minutes shouting at the loaner car.
Isn't it rude when they just don't listen? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if I don't have this extension, I don't. Is it under tools? I want to use a DBO's push line. I don't have it, so I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to install an extension live and use it. Crazy thing, but I know this extension pretty well. So,
which extension is that?
Push line right here.
Push line.
Grab that.
Not push pull, push line. Oh, I see what it does.
Yes.
Nice.
This is an amazing little extension that, especially in something like this, where I have a series of edges, I want to just take these all and just pull them up into 3D space. It's super easy. So I can just grab this. Hold on. I don't like this first line.
That would be a great
Oops.
native tool. Nudge, nudge, hint, hint, wink, wink.
You nudge away. You have as much control over that as I do. I'm going to weld that back together. And then I am going to find that extension, a DBO, push line. I'll grab that and I will. Okay, let me do this. Make group. Let's go into this group and get rid of everything else. Okay. Now I want to take that. I'm just going to pull that straight out on the green. I don't know exactly how far I pull it out, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit and then I'll fix it up as we go. Grab all that.
So can you go off axis with push line?
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know, honestly. There we go. So there's our tape. I'll take care of that Z fighting in a second or two.
Man, that looks good. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Pretty cool. Get rid of this. Oh man, it's pretty close. So I'll just go ahead and scale that up to. Why are you not snapping? Snap to my thingy. Snap to. All right, there we go. And then I will grab that. And I will mirror again. You know, every once in a while, if you're like me, you look at your modeling process and you go, oh, have I changed my process in forever? Sometimes I feel like I do the same thing all the time over and over again. But every once in a while I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I added this to this, I added this, I added that. So every once in a while I do something new. All right, so there's...
Is there a celluloid material in the warehouse that we can put on that film strip?
Possibly. It is pretty dark though. Look right here. It's really got like no reflection, totally matte black. So...
Ooh, Bill is testing me. He says, okay, where does nudge, nudge, wink, wink come from? And what UK chocolate bar did an advert referring to it? I know the answer to the first one, which is Monty Python's Flying Circus, Eric Idle's skit with the guy on the bench. The second part of that question, I don't know, because I am not familiar with UK chocolate bars.
Oh, just let us all down, Donovan.
I know.
I would just say Willy Wonka, because wasn't that originally British, Roald Dahl? I don't know if that's the thing.
That would be a good guess, right?
I'm talking stuff. I don't know what is going on. All right, I'm gonna take all of these and give it a little bit of depth, so I get rid of that Z fighting. So after downloading that extension, it turns out I'm just gonna do a push pull anyhow. So
all that work.
Yeah, but it was cool. I showed you how to do that thing.
Yeah. I mean, besides the reverse face paint, I also need something else I need to try, which is what is it? Line pull? Is that the name of it?
Push line.
Push line.
Yeah, a great extension, and like I said, super simple, but a great way to get 2D geometry into 3D space. Let's push that back there. Not that much.
Keggy says, careful with that cellulose. That could be flammable, and Aaron's modeling is hot right now.
Boom. All right, so there's other details in here. There's screw heads, and there's these little, I don't know, readers or whatever extra things around. But I'm going to call it right here because I want to get the rest of his head done too. And we got like 45 minutes left. So that's looking pretty cool. It's looking cool. I like it.
That is cool.
I like the way that looks. So I'm going to go drop this. Pull back, give myself a little bit of space. Yes. Okay. Now, this piece right here is what's going to now expand into his larger face. So yeah, so there's that lip, and then so this next piece comes out, and it has a little bit of a different shape. Looks like it goes down below his chin, and then kind of comes out round here and here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to unhide everything else. So what I really want to do is I really just kind of want to, well, here, let me back up a
Vincent
bit.
on LinkedIn says, "Dad joke. What's his operating system?" I referring to Herbie. Fantastic Fortran.
Nice. Who here remembers Fortran?
I don't get it. I'm assuming Fortran is an operating system of some kind.
It was, or not an operating system. Is actually a, what would you call it? A programming language, but still a good reference. All right, so I think what we got here, if I look right here, it looks like this is actually a gap. I thought this was actually like wider, but I think this is a gap between the two. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to push this back, and then actually here, go here. I'm going to pull this back this way, about that much. I'm going to offset this about that much, and then I'm going to push this up to the face, and then there we go. And now this is going to become our new outline, and this is the piece that's going to get those jowly shapes. So I'm going to go.
Studio RT Cool says, "I took Fortran in college on punch cards."
Yeah, sounds right.
Randy expounded saying, "Fortran means formula translator language. Formula translator, Fortran."
Sounds right. I just remember the first software I worked on was Fortran, and it was limiting as far as what it could do. And I did not program in it, and I'm not that's not me. But I have familiarity with that term. I guess I know the name more than anything. So, oh yeah, Fortran. All right, so that gives us our little things here. It looks like what we got is like two different. This is the outside one, which steps back. Okay, cool. So we got this, which is pretty cool. So that's gonna, whoa. Hey, settle down, Herbie. All right, so let's go back like that far. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like this little, yeah. So from like here up to here, we're gonna have kind of a little bit of a rounded section. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to go grab another arc and go from here, yeah, to about here. Why is that going out of plane? Like that? No, it's a little bigger than that. Here to here, like about there. Okay, something like that. And now, what I'm going to do is take this edge right here, connect this to this right now. I'm going to take this. Here's what I should do. I should cut this at the middle. I'll take that and just drag it straight downwards. See what that did. Okay, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Some of it worked, but I don't think this didn't intersect.
What did
this
you
didn't
want
intersect right?
What did you want it to
look
do?
What I did. I did this wrong. Okay, I know what I got to do. So what I'm trying to do is figure out what to do as I'm talking, and that doesn't always work out well. Sometimes the brain and the words and the, so what I got to do is I'm going to go from here down to, let's toggle everything else off. About here, that's why I was having a weird time with that arc, like that. And then I'm going to connect this to this. All right, I'm going to grab this piece right here, and I'm going to see what happens if I drag that straight. Huh. It's kind of weird. Why did it do that? Grab it here. Oh, I was grabbing the whole thing. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted.
Oh, like a bevel.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I cut a little bit of a corner down here, literally. Go straight across like that. And go stitch that back up.
People are sounding off in the comments about their experiences with early programming languages. It was fun to. It was fun.
All right, there we go. Cool. So then I'll take that whole thing, get rid of this whole thing. There we go. That'll work. Mirror that. Option, center this. Get that on that side too. There we go. Got that little lip down there. Got this. Right, and then that kind of completes that level of the face, and we have another step to what is the main housing, which is pretty straightforward, which I like.
Or pretty straight back, is this such is the case?
Yeah. Boom. All right, something did not close up here, so let's force it closed. Now triple click, re-smooth it all. Oh, it's coming together. It is coming together. Woo!
Honestly, you could just stop here and it would look great. But
it's so hot. So I'm just sweating over here.
You're modeling so hard. You're working up a sweat.
All right, so what happened here? For some reason this got smoothed or deleted or something. Same thing here. I just want to pull this back so that that is continuous around there. Cool. Get that outside of the head in. The back, again, paying attention to things that nobody really needs to pay attention to whilst watching this movie. The back of his head has like an access plate with vents and some stickers and stuff, but we're not going there. I'm gonna grab this face again, Command C, edit, paste in place, and then we'll scoot it back to give us the same offset there. Offset that out like that. We'll push this back up again. We'll give ourselves basically the same lip we had before, but I'm just going to bring this, give this guy, there we go, a decent solid head like that. All right, there we go. Not that the back of his head wasn't cool. It was very, very fun details going on back there, but I did not find a picture of that, and when I went around the cardboard cutout, I couldn't see the back of his head there either. So, all right. So there is the beginnings of the rest. So like I said, that the details that I got to get in now, we have this little thing on the side sticking out, and then we have that soap skin and bubble top that I want to put on. And then we're down to like maybe a little bit of accordion neck, and we're closing in. All right, let's take this and make it a group, and then this looks like it goes pretty. Oh, I got to do this other eye too. I got to fix that. I got to hop back in and put the right detail on there. Um, I'm gonna touch. Hold on. Let me back up and go into my in-house material, in model materials. I feel like some of these materials, yeah, for whatever reason, my silver roughness was the metalness was turned off, so I wasn't getting these sweet reflections I was hoping for.
Patrick says, Aaron, tell me you enjoyed the film, or was it just research for the SketchUp live session?
Can it be both? No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I have mentioned it before. I am very much a Marvel fan, been a comic book reader since always, and yeah, I really do enjoy most MCU movies, even when people harass them and say that things aren't good movies. I go just because it's a fun thing to watch, kind of thing, more than anything else. Um, but this in particular, this was it was a good movie. I just thought it was more than just you know, it was not
It
showing up
was
as a
more than just
fanboy
an
and
hour and a
saying
half
that.
trailer for the next movie.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I mean, I won't ruin anything. There's definitely connections to the larger universe, but yeah, it stood itself as a good movie. Yeah, I really liked it. So if you like those kinds of movies, I would say you'll probably enjoy it. If you don't like superhero movies, I'm not going to suggest you go, but it did not fall in line with like a lot of recent superhero movies.
So you said that Fantastic Four was very similar to Superman, sort of. What
Yeah,
do you mean by that? In terms of like tone?
yeah. In the fact that like I said, I feel like both of them decided that it was time to have fun and not get all worked up and like making sure I tie into the larger universe or anything like that. It was just enjoyable, fun, popcorn eating movie. It was good like that. Popcorn eating movie as long as you don't buy the $80 commemorative
The,
Galactus
the
head
bucket.
popcorn bucket, which is awesome looking. It's like this big, but it's $80. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's funny how popcorn bucket culture has exploded in the last what, 2 years?
It
Three
is it
years?
is
Something like that.
it is pretty amazing. I don't know if I the reason for it. I don't know if you guys know, uh, but a lot of uh, hold on, 2x can't talk and type. Nope, divide by two. There we go. A lot of theaters, the theater that's themselves make money off of what they sell from the concession stand, not the movie itself. Franchise makes the money off of the movie.
Yeah.
So,
Because they have to split the ticket price with the distributor.
right. So if you do go in to see a movie, if if you can buy popcorn or a beer or whatever, it helps the theater itself as opposed to just the Regal or AMC or whoever else. So same with those popcorn buckets. I think that's why those are getting pushed so much, is because they need to.
Yeah.
They need that money.
Because popcorn is very cheap, but
Yeah, popcorn costs nothing.
if you can, sell something that you bought for 40 cents for $25, then
Yeah,
that's a good way to.
yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, Ty says we should do that as a future live stream. Design your own
Sell
popcorn
popcorn.
bucket
Oh,
challenge.
like
Yeah.
that. I thought he was saying I should sell popcorn and keep the profits. I like that plan too. All right, to make that into a group, cut it, come into context here, grab this, make into a group, edit, paste. Well, when I get done with this, in just a few minutes, he says optimistically, we'll go into the outliner and just see how deep I went with my stuff. So this side of the head, It has
Are
nothing
you
on it.
talking about all of the groups and components and groups and
Mhm.
components? Gotcha.
See how far in I went.
Yeah.
So it's a little deeper. All right. So what I want to do now is create a rectangle, goes past the edge significantly, like that. All right. This, make this a group. I'm going to color it with my blue. Where'd my blue go? That's not my blue. Oh, for heaven's sakes. There we go. There's my blue. And then I'm going to use soap, skin, and bubble on this and try to get, like I said, I don't like that I don't have a very good look at this, but it is pinned down here all the way across here. It's flat. And then it bubbles up in the middle and kind of comes down to this edge over here. And I was like, it just looks so much like soap, skin, and bubble. So I want to see if this works. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to go to extensions. Oh, I think I turned it off. Hold up. Let's see. There it is. Yep. Turn it back on. Apply changes. There we go. All right, so we'll skin this thing. No, we'll get a little finer than that, maybe 20.
Speaking of soap, skin, and bubble, if you haven't seen it, Aaron put out a fantastic tutorial on our YouTube channel about the different ways that you can, different extensions, different ways that you can do more organic surfaces. I think it's called, what is it called? Patio
Sunshade, something or
Sunshade
other.
Showdown. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it
there we
is.
go. Which was funny because somebody came on and goes, I install sunshades all the time, and that's nothing what they look like. It's like, okay, yeah.
Well,
A sail hanging from the sky, a sheet on poles. I don't know. The point is supposed to be the geometry, but they were very serious about their trade, and I apologize. I was not trying to make fun. All right, so I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to add pressure to it. I'm going to make it bubble. Let's try 10. See what happens there. So we got a little bit of a bubble out of 10. So all I did there, I should back up. While Donovan was talking, I took that shape and I subdivided it into 20 by 20 squares, 20 squares by 20 squares roughly. And now I'm adding pressure to it to cause it to bubble up. So let's try going 20. A little more. Okay. I'm going to jump up to 40. Ooh, that might be it. So I ran it long like this because I want to cut it off at the back of his head because that's actually what happens. But that looks pretty close.
okay.
That
I was like, I'm
waiting
for the reasoning, but there it is.
But just a touch. I'm going to split the difference. 45. All right. That's it. All right. Boom. All right. If I come in here, I'm just going to grab all that, delete it. And then I will draw an edge here to here. Oh, I thought that would close.
Why wouldn't it close?
Reasons, things,
Okay.
stuff happens. It's possible that when it blew up like that, it didn't perfectly, it came out of plane a little. So I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. And then when I don't know things, sometimes I try to find reasons. Yeah, so you can see there as it came up, it's just a little, just slightly out of plane. Just kind of slightly came off like that. Not a big deal because all I got to do is explode this. I'll grab this and I'll say intersect face with model. And that will break both those faces. So I can come in here and I can, well, let's see, this is probably easier to do this. Get rid of these extra edges. so.
Tedious.
Oh man, they're just so small. Try to do this without deleting any of the extra faces that you actually need. And it's
Oh
going to
man.
go all the way down to 0 at the end. So it's going to go, when it hits down here, it'll be all the way at the face. I notice that if I get my head closer, then it's easier to zoom in.
just pinch, pinch and zoom on the screen. That'll fix it.
All right, there we go. We're getting close. I got a couple more edges to clean up right here. But Kirby's almost there. Kirby's almost there. All right, there we go. That's all right. Nice. And I don't want that grid on there, but that's easy enough. I just come in here and I'll just soften and smooth that. There we go.
Very nice.
So that's, I got a little Z fighting here. Did I just delete that?
Yeah, I think you just deleted the angle.
Option, soften. Does that help at all? A little bit. I'll probably just merge these two together. So I'll come in here, get rid of that. Oh, looks sweet. All right, let me fix this eye. We got half an hour left. I'm gonna very slowly come in here and fix this eye. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I can't click right here. Look, if I click right here, I get this glass piece that's in the front. That's silly. So let's see, how do I do this? I guess I'll have to take this, temporarily hide this to get into the face. All right, so I'm going to grab, these were components. We made 2 components. I'm going to grab one of them, make them unique. That way I can come in here and I can go in on this and just come in here and get rid of these extra edges. So make that all into one piece. Color it with my white material. And then get this design on here. So it looks like I got something all the way in here like this. And maybe a little bit of a rim like that. And then something out further like that. That's too far. I'm drawing a line now. That's not what I want to do. Offset. Well, weekend setting in, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this. To get that little triangle shape I saw right there.
Is that like a hole?
I think so. I'm going to make it a hole.
Okay.
And then
I don't see the details that you're seeing because everything is compressed and into a small little screen.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean that's what we're working off of. So we're not looking at a. Oh, there we go. So it looks like we actually have a little bit of an offset. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I'll start with this, and I will grab that, and then I'm gonna rotate it, a copy of it, 120 degrees to X. Didn't break the face. Why? Oh, that's fun. No. Okay, well, I'm not going to mess anymore. I'm just going to grab these and these edges. If I click on them and bring them they're connected, they're somewhat connected because they're breaking the geometry and pull it out like that, but they're only connected back at the circle. So that's kind of interesting. So I might just try to click there.
Instead of the edges, can you do the faces?
No, that's the problem is I'm trying to create the face.
Oh,
so
I don't
know what happened, but
Huh.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm learning, you guys. It's taken many years, but rather than figuring out why something doesn't work, uh, I'm just redoing it.
Brian says, we all know this frustration. LOL.
Yeah. All right. So there, let's see. That broke it. That broke it. So something about whatever was going on before it didn't like, but I'm not going to mess with it anymore. All right. So the other thing that looks like is he does have like, so this comes up a little bit. This ring raises up like that. This ring is actually a different color, a different material. I'm going to grab this material right here and put it on there. That's a little strong, so I will come in here.
Colin says, if the face is a smooth curve, would hidden geometry help?
Hold on, I'm trying to process that, and I don't know that I fully understood what he was saying. If the face... What now?
He says, if the face is a smooth curve, would hidden geometry help?
Face is it? Oh, this? No, I don't. That's toggling hidden geometry on and off. So there's nothing else there. It's flat. I don't know. Like I said, but like I said, I don't have to care. I can let it go and walk away. See, I'm happy. And then let's see if I can do this. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to unselect that. And I'm going to offset that. Like that. And then grab this line, follow it down to here. Something here, follow that down to, oops, too far. That's okay. And then I should, well, I guess I can just do it again. I don't have to. I'm not, I know somebody said I should weld more at the beginning of the model, and you're probably right, because I keep ending up with these chunks to clean up, but yeah, it is obviously not something I did a very beautiful job of. All right, and then we're getting there. We're almost there, folks. One more edge here, and then I'll put
It's all
this
in the
up.
details.
This whole model's all the details.
Right?
Didn't break it. Didn't go far enough somewhere. Right there. There we go. All right, there's that eye done. All right. 137. All right, I'm just going to do this little neck piece, and then we are going to call it. Mostly because I just think it looks like fun. So what we have here, I thought it was round, but it's actually like a square, like accordion, accordion kind of thing. So I'm going to start with a square. I'm going to draw a square or a rectangle like that. I'm going to knock off all the corners. And then I'm going to draw this up like this. And then, let's see. Then what am I going to do?
Follow me.
Yes, at some point,
Okay.
follow me
I
will
was like,
happen.
is that a Did you want that question answered?
Pop quiz.
Pop
No,
quiz.
that wasn't where I was going with that, but good answer. But you're right. Yeah.
I was hoping it wasn't rhetorical. So
All right, I'm just gonna use that like that. Do one more. Okay. Then little sound effects, and then I'm going to do that, do that, do that, do that. Double click, double click, double click. That one I'm not worried about. That one I'm not worried about. I'm gonna take. Oh. Grab that. Oh, I missed a couple. Fortunately, I haven't drawn any other arcs, so I can still just double click. All right, and then I'm going to grab it all, then select to get rid of that. So just the curve, because I'm going to right click and I'm going to weld it, because you guys said I should. And then I'll put this black material on here. Weld this. And follow me. Nope, that's not follow me. One more time. Follow me with this. Oh.
Wow.
I'm just going to sit and look at the materiality of this real quick. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then look at that.
Even got the peaking off those edges.
All right, I have no idea how this connects to his underneath his head because that was never shown. So I'm just going to line it up with the middle like that. Pull it back like that. And then we'll look at size. Well, that's pretty close. That's not centered, is it? Is that centered? There we go. Oh. All right.
It's good. It's good.
A little bit. Oh man, come on. Pretty happy with what happened today.
You're gonna make it all into a group.
Yep. All right, put that right there. Slide you guys. Oh, you're all locked. You can't unlock. We'll just kind of go back like here. We can lose the Aaron. We can take Herbie and put him in the middle.
Yeah, because if we're going to Aaron's scale, that'd be about a 12-foot tall head, right?
That is a big Herbie. That's a lot of Herbie. All right, I'm gonna go right here. This is totally unreasonable or unnecessary, but
it'll make for a good thumbnail, right? is that what you're going for?
Very cool. Reflectivity on the glass, on the metal, on the plastic. Oh, so cool. Oh, look at his head, look at his head, look at that. Oh, man. Love it.
Did you unhide the faceplate?
I don't think that nope. Which means it's probably over here somewhere. Oh man, there's not a quick and easy way to put this back now that I did that. Oh, maybe? How close were you to being? Nope, that wasn't right. That's the center. Vertically down to here. Okay, there, we're lined back up again. All right, Command X, edit, paste in place. There we go. Oh, that turned out very cool. I love it.
Very proud of your work, Aaron. That's amazing.
Looks good. Oh, that was cool. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think spots I still want to go. I would. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'll go work on it somewhere. This might be done for me. I'm tired, but that turned out pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I wonder if we can, let's see. We have. Okay, so there is an argument to make this smaller, and that is ambient occlusion is going to hit better if that's closer to real size. So let's see if we do that. And then style, face.
Keggy says, "Fine job there, Aaron. Another great
Thanks.
session."
Yeah, that turned out pretty cool. I like it. I'm gonna 3D print that. What could you use that for? Sitting on your desk like that? That'd be trying to figure out what good that would do. I don't know, but it's close to solid. Most of these pieces I think are. Gonna need something to cut acrylic with though. Laser cutter. Cool. Well, yeah, there we go. I'm done. Let's get my shadows on. Pretty cool. Awesome. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. That was a fun one. I'll be honest, when I first looked at this, I went, whoa, I don't know how to do that. Like I was not sure how that was all going to come together. So I'm very glad that we ended up with what we did, because that looks pretty sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's your popcorn bucket right there. Just open the
there
lid.
you. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. This would just grab that right between your legs, a little handle there to hold on to, and then all this is popcorn space. We'll be back here next week. I'm trying to remember. Do you have that sheet open? What are we doing next? Oh, we kind of decided we're going to bounce some ideas around. So
Yeah.
we'll be modeling something next week.
Like we do most every week. We'll be modeling something.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys so much. This was a blast. This was so much fun. I appreciate you. Riding with me while I did this, and coming along and helping out, keep me company, and let me do something a little bit silly every once in a while. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, have an amazing weekend, everybody. Have a great week next week. Stay fun, stay sane, stay safe, have fun, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you, everybody.
We probably don't have music again.
Oh, we don't.
So.
Yeah, we don't have an end screen.
So we'll just say bye, and
We'll
then
just
we'll
say
just
bye.
sit here. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe we'll have a blank screen for a few seconds, and then we'll go. But thanks.